The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. We are going to take a look at the stock of Alibaba. Folks, we had someone from Europe contact me over the weekend, and they bought that stock way, way up in the air, and now they don't know what to do with it. And I know what that feeling is like. Back in the early days when I was looking at fundamentals, I would always think about some of that stuff. But this does not look very good for this stock. That's all the reason I'm putting on that, telling you this stuff, because that's it. Now, I want to send something to you that it is really quite funny. I got a little cartoon from Rich Anderson early last night, and it was about this big tanker ship over in the Suez Canal. And it was about 4:30 in the morning. I was checking with Bloomberg today, and I had found out that the ship had they had dislodged the ship, and it was going to be okay. And just as that was happening, they had a special guest on Bloomberg who's a specialist in this stuff. And he said that it'll be 3 to 6 months before they can get that big barge unloaded and, get it up, get the canal the canal working over there again. 30, not more than 10 minutes later, the barge is lodged loose and it's okay. I mean, it's unbelievable. Folks, on my desk, I have a bunch of books. It's about 20 books. One of my favorites is a book called The Experts Speak. It's by Christopher Cerf and Victor Navansky. It was written in 1984. And on the back cover, I'm just going to read you. These are experts, folks. And this thing is 350 pages with PhDs, LHDs, DODs, whatever they are. But listen to this. Stocks have reached what looks like a permanently high plateau. Irving Fisher, professor of economics at Yale University, October 17, 1929. Forget it, Lewis. They're talking to Louis B. Mayer. No one will ever buy a ticket to a Civil War picture. Gone with the Wind. We don't like the recording of these European groups from London, these guitar groups. They'll never make it here in the United States. Decca Records turning down the Beatles, 1962. With over 50 foreign cars already on sale, the Japanese auto industry isn't likely to carve out a big share of the market. Business Week, 1968. There is no reason for any individual to have a computer in their home. The president of Digital Equipment, 1977. Okay. All right, let's take a look here. And the last one is Bill Clinton will lose to any Republican who doesn't drool on stage. The Wall Street Journal, 1995. Well, folks, this thing, and my favorite one in this book is by Wendell Willkie, vice presidential candidate. It's December 7th, 1941. He's at a breakfast meeting in the White House, okay? And, of course, the time difference between there and Hawaii was a little bit different, and they were bombing Hawaii at that time. And he said, we will never go to war with the Japanese in 30 years, 30 months, 30 days. It will never happen. And they were bombing as that was occurring. So anyway, that's something that's going on here. So let's pay attention to some of these things that are going on. Now, we had a situation going on here. Just a second, folks. I have to do one little thing to take care of a little business here. We got to get moving on here. Hold on just a second. Get up here. I got to do a little business. Just 1 second here. And I don't want to get too involved with this, but give me 1 second here. We have a situation going like in these markets with these same things that we're doing right now. So hold on here 1 second here. Okay. All righty. There was where we go. All right, here. Let's move on here. Got to get this moving here. 1 second. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Got that one taken care of. All righty. Oh, boy. Okay, let's move on here. We got to move on and get on moving. Just a second here. Okay, sorry, folks. We have a situation. We've been talking about this gold market for quite some time. And we put an order out, if you remember, most of you that belong to 24/7, and that is we put an order out, to buy the gold at 1705 in the April gold, and it hit there. The low today was 1703.50. I sent the special video out after it hit that and said raise your stop up to the low of the day or at 1701, whatever you wanted to do. Now it started to at least started to move up in the right direction. Whether it's going to continue or not, I don't know, but nobody else does either. That's why when you have this book, and I recommend anybody that's a fundamentalist and discouraging, just pick up that book. It's by Cerf and Novinsky. It's called The Expert Speak. It's been around for 37 years, and it is really, really good. I mean, it's really something. Yes, they're rolling from April to June right now, but the April still has a lot of open interest, and we're not going to be in that for till the end of April, that's for sure. So that's neither here nor there. The reason why I did that, Mr. Z, is all the work that I had been doing had been on the April, and I saw they were rolling over to the June, but I decided to stick with the April because that's the one that's been good to us, and so that's why I'm keeping it, watching it very, very closely. So that's the main thing. Now that's it. Delivery comes on Tuesday, tomorrow. Get out of here, really? Wow, I'll have to do that. I didn't know that. Wow, when did they change that? Holy cow. Okay, I'll change that. Thanks, Mr. Z. I will take care of that. All righty, I will do that. So much. I wonder why the brokerage firm never. All right, let's not worry about that. Okay, let's move on here to a couple other things that we want to talk about. I talked about the Alibaba and stuff. We've had a talk here about the Bitcoin. I wanted to bring this up because people have asked me about it. Like I said before, I don't know much about these. I do know the charts. As you can see here, we've had three major corrections now here in Bitcoin over the past several weeks here. The last one we just finished here at just under 51,000. And, now we're back up to 57,000. That was a perfect ABCD pattern. The move was equal to the last correction that we had in price. I mean, that's a third one. That's a third one we've had now. Over the past 3 weeks, it was equal. So if you see it once or twice, you'll probably see it the third time. So remind ourselves that that's what we have to do is when we're looking at these things, because we don't know what's going to happen next. We have a couple of other things that were going on today. We don't know if they're going to be any good or not, but we're just watching them just like everybody else. So just keep in mind, it's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you don't want to lose. And that's, I think, is something very, very important. Now, we were going to try to have Rich on today, but he's just very, very busy right now. But I wanted to bring this to your attention today here is that we had a situation in the edible oil markets, and I wanted to bring up the chart here of palm oil because that's been the leader of the pack. You notice here that it has that big ABCD pattern there in the palm oil, and we just had a minor ABCD pattern finishing early this morning, and then the market took right off. And so those are some of the things that you're watching right here. So let's keep that in mind too. We'll be right back, folks. 877-927-6648.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave Sign up for the opening call risk-free today.
If you're not currently using the Taz Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The Taz Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, Taz understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the Taz Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the Taz Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, folks, we have Rich Anderson on the line. Rich, how you doing today?
Good morning. Doing great, Larry.
Rich, I had a question for you. The reason why I asked you to be on is twofold. One is talk a little bit about the grain report that's coming up, but tell us what's going on with this thing with the margin and some dude that's got a $20 billion margin call in stocks. What do you know what's going on there?
Well, it's back in the old days, you know, a guy could go to a bank and say, I've got 1,000 head of cattle and I want to borrow money on it. And then the banker comes out to count them, and you just keep driving around the hill, and he keeps counting. Or you have a new car, and you take it to 6 banks, and each lend you 50% of the value. Well, nowadays they don't need to do that. They've got, you know, these securitized loan kind of swap agreements, and apparently a couple of the banks are hung out for a possible $2 billion loss. So I don't know. Sounds like somebody wasn't doing their due diligence. It's not the kind of thing that you or I know about. And Friday morning, of course, the block trade, they had a magnificent margin call. And the block trades, you know, Goldman put out feelers who wants to take on a large size of this stock, and this stock. And it's, if you remember back to 1987, once the everybody knows that the sellers are selling, they just step back and stop buying. And that's literally what happened back in those days. It was the OAX market. Today we call it the SPY. It was the OAX 100. You know, the option market literally ceased to exist that day. That I had friends that had puts on that were worth 12 on the opening. They put orders in at 10 or better. Didn't get a fill back. Finally put a market order in, and at the end of the day got filled at a half, even though the low of the day was 3/4, because literally the market makers just disappeared. And that's kind of what happened here. There was nobody that was willing to take size on a multitude of stocks that these boys had to liquidate.
Wow. That's really amazing.
And that consequently is going to bring up the discussion on leverage, and it's going to make everybody a little more cautious. Remember back in February 1st, we made the lows on the sell-off. Well, back then they called it degrossing because of the game stocks squeezing the shorts. And, you know, it wasn't just the little guys. There were a couple of big guys on the squeeze side of that, too, that were, you know, going up against the guys that were short. So maybe we have to think about how much leverage is wise, and the government might start thinking about that a lot, and that isn't usually good when the government thinks too much.
Yeah, boy, that's the understatement of the year. Now, speaking of the government, we've got a big report coming out this week. You want to tell the folks what that's about?
Absolutely. You know, we have the planning intention. It comes out on Wednesday on the 31st, 12 o'clock Eastern Time, 11 o'clock Central. And then we have the stocks and all positions. Well, the stocks report, not likely to show any major surprises right now. That's kind of settled in. Everybody's looking for bigger and bigger numbers. And, you know, the USDA started with the February forum report, and then this is just going to confirm that. And, you know, the farmer's going to, the insurance rates, as I said earlier in March, with last time I was on, you know, the farmer plants with protection from our crop insurance, and the prices are 30-40% better than they were a year ago. It's guaranteed profits. A year ago, it was guaranteed losses. So you weren't as encouraged to plant more acres. This year, you're very encouraged to plant more acres. You weren't encouraged to use more fertilizer. This year, you'll be very encouraged to use more fertilizer. So it's a whole different dynamics. But keep in mind, back in June of last year, we thought we'd have a 2.7 billion bushel carryout of corn. And now we're probably talking 1.2, 1.3 billion. And in beans, you know, they 600, 700, 800 million. And now a lot of the traders in the trade think it's under 130 million, which is basically pipeline supplies. So the world changes fast. And you know what day follows March 31st? April Fools. I don't try and guess the market's going to react to reports. I'd rather let the market tell me what the report said. You know, a very friendly number can often not mean a thing because it's already in the market. So that's the way I look at things. You know, I'm just retired and find it fascinating, endlessly fascinating to keep learning.
Now, I was telling the folks about the book, The Experts Speak, that you know about. It's a book from 37 years ago about all the experts, what they know. 350 pages of just unbelievable, you know, predictions by people with tremendous educational background right in the forefront of the industries, and yet they got everything wrong. And so you just got to remember that some people, just because they say it on TV or someplace, you just never know what's going to happen. So that's another reason to be really careful.
I mean, starting with Sir Isaac Newton.
Yeah,
you know,
that's right.
He got out of the sea bubble.
Yeah.
And then he couldn't stand the fear of missing out. He had to get back in, and so one of the smartest guys ever.
Yeah,
you know,
he sure did. And he lost everything, actually.
Yep.
Wow.
So just because you're highly educated and highly intelligent doesn't mean you can't fall victim to lunacy.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Lunacy of the crowd.
Yeah. Hey, listen, buddy, I know you're real busy today, so thanks a lot, and we'll have you back on again soon. But we'll be watching that report, and maybe next week when we get the dust settles, we'll have an idea of what's going on, and we'll talk to you more about it then. How's that?
And all right, and keep your eye on that bond price I told you about too.
Yep.
That has to do with the leverage.
Yeah, we're definitely doing that, folks. We're watching that bond market very, very closely, of course. Speaking of the bonds, folks, we had a low today of 55.05. They're trading at 55.13 right now. They're down about 2 full points from where we got out of the longs, which is 57.04. And so they're backing and filling here right now. But I wanted to share with you one of the charts for the TLT. I want to get this up so you'll get a rough idea of where we are here. This is the TLT on the weekly chart. You can see we've had a lot of volume down here these last few weeks as the market's, you know, trying to find a bottom down here at the 61% retracement. And so what you do is when you're looking at this long-term weekly and you have this support that we're watching here in these notes down here in the TLT down around that 135, 134 level, what you want to do is if you want to enter a trade, the best way to do that, of course, is to go in and take a look at the market on a shorter term time frame, and that'll give you an idea of whether you want to try to find a bottom if you possibly can. So what we're going to do here is take a look at the TLT here on a daily, and I've blown it up here for the for the folks, you'll notice that we have that butterfly pattern that is formed down there at that 132 and change. Today we're trading we're a little below 130, a little below 135 and change. But we had like 6 days of rally that took us right up to the 61% retracement of the high on March 8th. And so what we're doing now is we're trying to find some support down at this level. Well, that support in the bonds came in at 53.05. So whether that is going to be important or not, really remains to be seen. But we don't know, but nobody else does either. That's the whole key to this, and that's why I keep that book right on my desk, The Experts Speak, because I know I'm not an expert. I know one thing. I know that little bar chart, what that means. If more buyers, it's going up, more sellers, it's going down. That's basically it. We'll take a break. 877-927-6648.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den trading room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, I'm going to tell you a little story, and unfortunately, I can't get Byron on the line today to prove it. But it was 1983, and we were up in Barry Lynn's office, Lynn Waldock, in Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and there was a reporter there for the Wall Street Journal, and beans had just started to have a nice move up. They were up about 80 cents a bushel from their low, and they were talking about all kinds of stuff. And the reporter was there, and I had just come back from Terre Haute, Indiana, where I'd spent the weekend with my aunt and uncle, where I used to do all the time to go down and get some good Italian food and visit my sister and all the relatives. And I said to the guy, I said, the woolly caterpillar doesn't have any hair today. On this season for the woolly caterpillars, and in the Farmer's Almanac it says if that happens, that means there's going to be a very, very hot, dry summer. And he said, well, that's pretty interesting about that. Believe it or not, folks, the next day in the Wall Street Journal, I should have kept it, I didn't, but it said that, the traders on the floor were looking at the movement of the woolly caterpillar to determine whether the soybean market was going to go up. I swear to God, it was on there. Byron still jokes about it to this day, and I was thinking about it today looking at this Expert Speaks book. So anyway, it turned out that the woolly caterpillar was right and beans still go up a lot. But, this is the kind of stuff that you hear all the time. And with the social media the way it is now, you don't know what's right and what's not right. You get these three guys on from Google and Facebook and Twitter, and they're telling you everything's okay. We do everything to make everything right and everything. And gosh, I think it's great that they do that and prove to us to that. But you don't know what's true and what's not. So the only thing that counts to me is what's on that chart. If it's going up, there's more buying. It's going down, there's more selling. There's nothing else easier than that. You might win a few, you might lose a few, but if you stick in the game and watch those charts, you're going to be okay, because you don't know what these fundamentals are going to bring you down the road, or any other road for that matter. So just remind ourselves that that's something that's important. Remember, just 2 weeks ago, we were down there looking to buy the Treasury bonds. I mean, they were making a beautiful pattern here. We had a 3-drive. Well, I don't have the 3-drive up, but I got the longer pattern. You all know what the 3-drive is, because I think half the world was looking at that time. But this is where we were watching here. We were down there at that 53.05 was the low. It rallied up to 57.07. And that was the ABCD was at 57.04, and then the pullback today was at 55.05. Whether it's any good or not, I don't know, but at that point you don't have to risk very much at all. So that's the main thing that you want to be looking at here. Bo's asking, how are the caterpillars this year? Bo, I knew someone was going to ask me that question. I don't know. I really don't. I just look at the charts. I don't really try to. The weather's you can't predict the weather past about 5 or 7 days, even with all the satellite stuff. It's pretty tough to do that. So we used to watch the anchovies come in. Rich was just on the line. He remembers this, but we used to watch the anchovies coming in from South America. That would tell us if there was going to be an El Nino or an El Nina, and that was also very big. But it's right there on the charts. If these boys get the information and have all these, they spend, I think Rich spends like $10,000 a month just on weather stuff. And, you get all that information, but it's going to be either in the chart or it's not. They're either going to believe it or they don't believe it. So that's why I keep that book on my desk. The other one you always should look at is Charles Mackey, Popular Delusion and the Madness of Crowds. It goes into that same thing. When Rich was telling the story about Isaac Newton, he was really involved in the South Sea Island bubble, and he had made a lot of money, and the market kept going up, and he couldn't stand it anymore. So he went back in, and he was within 2 days of the top, and he wrote it all the way down. He lost everything. And, of course, he made it back in other things like learning how to catch apples as they fall out of the tree. But that's it. You just don't want to get involved with it too much. That's why I brought that chart of Alibaba up, and I've got another one from a very, very dear friend that had a relative in something that was, they didn't know what to do. And I wanted to bring this up to you because it's something that everybody's heard of, and that's called Tesla. Let's get this chart up so you'll be able to see it. There's a little lesson to be learned here. First of all, if you look at the head and shoulders pattern there between January and February, that is a perfect head and shoulders pattern. That's defined by the right shoulder and the left shoulder have to be equal in time, and the right shoulder, being bearish, has to be lower than the left shoulder, which in fact it is. And that formula is put in Andrew Lowe's book, The Non-Random Walk Down Wall Street, and you can see what happened. Now look what's happened now. This was the person had bought this. They had bought it at 720, and now it's trading at 603. And I said to them, I said, look, It made a low on Friday at a 61% retracement at $600. I said, if it goes below $600, you're probably wrong. So I said, that's what I said to do. So I don't know what it's going to do, whether it's going to go below $600 or not. But I know one thing, at $600, I know that's the defined risk that I wouldn't want to risk anything below that. So I don't know. That's how I look at it. You don't have to be a rocket science. Trading is simple, but it's not easy. You just got to be able to pick the ones that you're looking at. We happen to be in a couple today that people think you're absolutely nuts for. We bought the gold, whether it's going to work or not, I don't know. But we got a lead in it. No way we're going to lose on that low gold now. Not with a $10 lead. No way, Jose. Nope. So we got that one looked up, and we're also looking at a couple others as you folks that belong to TFNN 24/7. By the way, I'll be doing the live trading thing on Wednesday all day from 8 o'clock till 1 o'clock. London, that's our time. 9 o'clock till 4 o'clock. Is that what it is? Or noon until 4 is what it is, I believe. It'll be 5 hours on Wednesday. It'll be the hour before the market opens and up to the closing bell. So we'll have a lot of fun doing that. We've done 2. I'm going to do one more at the end of the year, sometime September, October probably, but this will be the last one for that time because we're going to have some big fireworks here, and we certainly want to be able to see how these things work out. We're having great volatility in the stock market, folks. You just you can't make it up. I mean, what we had happen Friday with that tremendous move, and below, folks, that was not short covering in the market Friday. That was not short covering in the S&P 500. It was in the Russell. But the S&P 500, that was 30,000 contracts coming in, new contracts, on a base of about 2.5 million. So that's about a 1% increase. Somebody put real money out there. So it was not short covering. If it had been short covering, I would have recommended selling on the opening, Sunday night. But that was not the case. So I think it's important to remind ourselves that's what you have to look at when you're following some of these things. I mean, sure, where there's going to be a place in here where there's going to be an easy place to, to find a good spot for a. Hold on, I have to double check something, folks. We've got a really nice position going, and I wanted to make sure that we don't miss anything on it because we've got it moving pretty good. We got the S&P trading at 39.52. We had a high overnight at 39.61. The high that we had on Friday was 39.65. No, it was more than that. It was 39.70. Yeah, 39.67. So we rallied up to the 78% level, and now we're coming into it again here with some resistance here between 39.61. But that's not where the play is, in my opinion. I think the play is in the gold market. 877-927-6648.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Okay, I'm back, folks, and it's 9 till 2 on Wednesday, the 31st of March. I'm going to do the live all-day trading, 5 hours. I do it to help TFNN out and also to help some folks out there. My main goal is to make that money that you have put up to $295. My main goal is to make sure we get that covered so you get a free 5-hour education along with making a couple bucks. We've had the other two that we did, we made a lot of money, folks. One we made over $4,000 in one day. The other one was around $1,200. What we're going to do tomorrow or Wednesday, I'm not sure, but we're having great volatility here, so we're going to find some really nice patterns. Now, I posted a chart of the crude oil, folks. That was one of the charts that we were looking at for today as one of the trade of the day, and that was the fact that we had that ABCD pattern there at 61.74, and it would hit 61.77, and that's right after it hit 61.77, folks. The guy on Bloomberg said that, there's not going to be any way for this thing to get unlodged for several months. And 20 or 30 minutes later, a report comes in from Saudi Arabia that everything was good. The boat had been dislodged, and everything was copacetic, and the 400 boats or tankers that were trying to get through will start going through. So what you hear and what you believe is two different things, so sort of remember that. So that's what we're going to try to do, is to line up some of these things. And we'll be looking at 15-minute charts and 30-minute charts so we can get opportunities, because the only difference between the charts is the time frame you're looking at. That's really what you're watching. So sort of keep our eyes open on the prize to make a couple bucks. That's what we're looking for here. Okay, we have another question from one of our folks to ask about Apple. Folks, Apple is just not acting very well. If you take a look at this here, it's holding its own so far above that 118 level. But if Apple gets below 119, folks, that gives a price objective of, it's going to drop at least $25 from that other one. That takes Apple down to 102. I mean, you can't believe that Apple could go to 102, but, that's what it could do. I mean, it's got the ABC there. It's never made a rally in the past 6 weeks of more than 38% of any particular high. Are you kidding me? I mean, my goodness. By the way, I got my second shot yesterday for the old Pfizer people. We went to the University of Arizona. It was a drive-through. You didn't even have to get out of your car. You just checked your ID 3 times. Then you had to wait 15 minutes at the end, and then they warned us that you're going to have a little bit more of a reaction with the second dose than you did the first, and I will have to raise my hand. They're absolutely true about it. It's nothing Nothing. It's just a tiny bit uncomfortable. There's nothing dangerous or anything like that. But they're starting to. You can see more and more people coming in. There were probably 100 cars in line. And what was funny is that the one that was giving us the information was our next door neighbor, who's a surgical nurse at the university, and it's really good. So, okay, I've had that too, Bo. I've already tested negative once before, so I'm keeping an eye on it because as you reach that 8th furlong pole, you just might. You just never know what's going to happen. Okay, let's move on here. I have another. Someone asked another question about another one of the stocks that is in the what do you call those FANG stocks? It's Netflix. I want to get it up so you can take a look at it. Here's another one that's not acting very well. It's last time we saw it was 508 on Friday. I don't know where it is today, but anything below $500 now in Netflix was not being very good. And look at these things topped a long time ago, folks. These tech stocks. So what we've had is a rotation into the Dow stocks and then into the Russell stocks, and that's the main thing that you want to keep what we're watching these things for. So I hope that helps. I'm just giving you my 2 cents worth. I'm being brutally honest here about the technical part and the fundamentals. I've told you every time I come on here, I tell you that it's trading at 512 as long as it stay. Thank you, Danny. As long as Netflix can stay above $500, it's got a chance. And so those of you that are along Netflix, but just don't be like the folks from Alibaba and Tesla and stuff where you get in love with a position and you're listening to everything that you hear in the news and what people are buying and people are selling and stuff. And even then, you don't know what things are happening there because there used to be I'll tell you a story from on the floor of the Merc. Whenever a guy wanted to put a big position on, he would put some on the other side of the pit, bidding really heavily for it, and he would be on the other side of the pit selling. And so what they were doing is they were just basically washing the trades until he got to the point where he knew he was right, and then the other guy just stepped out of the pit, and away it went. We saw that happen 2 or 3 times, once with Tom Dittmer, who was running Refco at the time. So you got to be really, really careful, folks, and that's why watch that little tiny black bar or red bar, whatever it is on your chart, and remember, that's what's really where the players are. If it's going up, there's more buyers. If there's going down, there's more sellers. That's what you have to remember. Give me a second here. Wow, are you kidding me? Only 12 minutes to go in their show? I can't believe it's gone this fast. Well, I like this new time. It's a big help for me. Let me double check a few things that we've got going here. We got the gold starting to get up here a little bit better. And how are we doing here with some of these others that we're looking at? We had one other looking pretty good. The bond is doing pretty good. And, we got one other one looks really good. Hold on here 1 second, folks. We got somebody calling in for a question, I think. And it's Jeff from Philadelphia. A question about ABCD. What can I help you with, Jeff?
Hi, Larry. Thanks for taking the call. The ABCD pattern, sometimes CD leg, I see pretty much goes straight to the D point. But sometimes the CD leg makes another smaller ABCD pattern on its way from C to D. And the question is, when you see that, secondary smaller ABCD pattern in the CD leg, is that suggestive of something? Is there a message in that? Is there any predictive value when you see that?
There may be, Jeff, but frankly, what I do is when I have the ABCD, when I look at the CD leg, the one thing that I want to find out is how quickly does the market move away from the C leg? In other words, if it's moving really fast after it makes C, then I know that CD leg is going to be probably 1.27, 1.618, or some ungodly number that we don't look at too much. But that's what I look for. What you're looking at here, Jeff, and what you just described to me is something that people do all the time, and is that they're micromanaging the thing, trying to be really clever and do something like that. And so keep it as simple as possible, my friend, because it's not rocket science. And I know you'll get what happens is you get tangled up in a little tiny swings, especially in the small BC swings after the C leg is made, and that's really hard to do, and that's what drives you nuts. I don't look at the markets all day long. I will on Wednesday because I'm going to be teaching and trying to make a couple of dollars. But frankly, that's what I'm watching here. I hope that helps.
Yes, that's the answer.
Okay,
so thank you very much.
Well, if you have any more, you have my phone number. You give me a call, and I'll try to answer it. But don't micromanage it, folks. That's where you get into trouble. Is when you stare at the machine all the time, and that's another thing that is really quite important. So it's pretty important, I think, to remember. 877-927-6648.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave. Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. This is Steve Rhodes. Stay tuned for another great hour of the Trader's Edge, heard here at TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, I posted the chart of the Nasdaq. It's a daily. And you'll notice that we made our high on February the 18th when we made that the big ABCD pattern up there at 13,857. We dropped all the way down to 12,200. We rallied up to the 61% retracement at 13,253, and that was on the 15th of March. We have not taken that high out. We hit it 3 days in a row. Friday's low was actually Thursday's low was the exact 61% retracement at 12,608. So unless we go popping through to 13,350 in the Nasdaq, this market is in a downtrend. Short term, whether it is long term or not, you'll have to wait and see. This has been the leader of the pack all the way. Doesn't mean it's going to continue that way, but that's the way it is right now. Got the market still fighting back to get back to normal today with the Dow Jones. I think the Dow Jones is still up a little bit, but the S&P is still down a little bit in a very interesting area to look at right here. Now, Mr. Z's posted a chart of that wheat, and we are watching it, Mr. Z. We're waiting for you to give us the green light. We're going to have to wait till this report gets out of the way. But I think we're going to have pretty good ideas what some of these things are going to do here soon, so we'll be able to keep a close eye on it anyway, no matter what. Folks, if you're in that gold and you bought it at 1705, we're going to roll it over to the June tomorrow if we're not out of it, but don't let that thing go to a loss. Put your stop at 1706, 1707, so you at least lock in $100, and then if the trading gods be with us, they might close really good, and then we get a little bit of a lead. We can have some fun with it, but we don't know yet. It's still way too early. But now we're in a free trade. That's the ideal situation. You trade for free. You can do that all day long. So just remember that, folks. Live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless. Do something for your neighbors, folks. They're still having troubles out there, but it's going to come, and we see the end is in sight. So we'll see you all tomorrow, folks, and may God bless. Try to come to the show on Wednesday if you can. Going to have a whole lot of fun. I really enjoy doing it, and we'll see you then.